This week is a first in two course plan updates that I'm going to be asking you to do. And I'm going to do a little bit of extra bonus stuff here, um, just to kind of, because I can. Excel is a great tool, especially for planning. It's not a great coding environment once you get really, really good at coding. There's a lot of limitations to it, but as far as just a quick user interface and some easy updates, it is really a great tool for a lot of purposes. Um, so your course plan here, there's one main sheet that I'm going to look at, and you can really manage this data whatever makes sense to you. The initial thought of it is you're going to have some indication of how many points you plan on earning on each one of these things. So again, you set a grade up here. This one's not filled out very much, but let's just say you said you wanted to get an A in the class. If you wanted a B, you wanted to C, totally fine. I'm just going to work with an A as, the stretch number, and everything else is just a little bit easier from there. So that means you needed to get 800 points in the class. From a planning standpoint, I can say, well, this is, and some of you did this, the first update, this is how many points I plan on working. So I'm going to do all of these, get all 40 points there, and I'm going to do all of these, 125 points there. And basic trees, I'm going to nail that out. This one, I'm going to go for 50 because from what I understand, that remove is really hard. And it can be in balanced trees. So I'm going to get that. I'm going to really work on these quizzes. I'm going to nail this quiz, and I'm going to nail this quiz. Well, that's the by hand exercise. So I'm just, it's just a matter of keep doing it, working out a whole bunch, and get all the points there. So now you can see I'm already, by doing that front loading, I'm already up to 760 points. I'm almost at my 400 points that I needed here. So I can just go look. Yeah, this one's still kind of TBD. I don't know what to do in that. Yeah, well, but I'll plan on getting the full points here and the full points here, and we'll do the full implementation here. Oops, and I'm already above the number. All right, so that's my plan. Um, this is what I'm looking for is your course plan. Where you looking to update the points for? What you might want to do if you're not on your plan, if you haven't, actually built all of these things, if you haven't actually turned these things in and gotten the points, this plan might just be theoretical. It might be a lie towards what reality is. So here's what I would do if this was my document. I would add another tab, and I would come back to this, and I would basically copy this whole table over. So I'm going to copy all of this stuff right here. Control C, I'm going to copy. I'm going to come over here and Control V, paste. So now the formatting's all off as far as the spacing goes, but I can actually fix that by just spreading some of this stuff out, and um, and that'll help quite a bit. And then there's actually a little trick here as well. You can come pick these rows, right click is what I did here. I say format cells, and I'll bring this over all the way. Let's see, number, alignment, font, border fill. Nope, I'm sorry. It's not, I want, oh, row height. That's what I wanted. Yeah. Why am I only half on this page? I'm not sure. Row height. I'm going to set it to 10. That's going to be too small. Right click and say row height and set it to 15, and that's looking better. Okay, so just a quick and easy thing, but I made myself a copy of this. Some of the references are broken here, but let me see if I can just copy those over again, if that'll work. Oh yeah, that top number is going to be broken here. So let me gonna go through and change this to be 800. Yeah, there. Oops, sorry, 800. There you go. And that gives me the rest of the information I have. All right, so again, some basic Excel stuff. Now, is that part of data structures? No, of course not. But it's useful to be really fluent in all sorts of software as a developer because you never know what tool is going to be the best for what you're trying to achieve. If you really want to understand this, there's a lot of basic Excel algorithms and stuff going on inside of here and some other tools, which if you want to know about, ask me. But let's talk about what have I actually earned. So maybe I only got maybe I only got 9 out of 10 on the syllabus quiz, and maybe I'm planning to do both of these. But right now, all I've gotten done is the clock problem and half of the calculator problem. So maybe I'm at 30 points that I've earned on this. And here, well, I want to do all of these, but maybe I've only earned 65 points out of all of them here. I've got 2 of them started, turned in. I've got the other one planned that I'm going to work on. Trees by hand. Hey, I spent a lot of time on this one. And basic trees, let's just say I've gotten 35 points of this done. Maybe I haven't turned it in yet, but I know which ones are passing, and I can tell. And so then I can come in here and I can say, okay, well, this is everything I've earned so far. Okay, so I can see I've earned 249 points, and then each week I keep finding out how many points I should have been earning, and I can see, am I on track for that? And I can see where it's going. And this will kind of help you to say, okay, well, if you think about it this way as well, week 1, 2, 3, if I got 249 points through 3 weeks, that's about a third of the way through the class. I multiply that by 3, that's 750 points. I'm probably close to being on target. So I'm actually going to change this, double click this, call this actual. And so that's my course plan and my actual here. And this gives me some sense of where I've actually earned points. You could have another copy of this if you want to. I can actually right click and say, let's see. Oh, they don't have duplicated here anymore. Oh yeah, there you go. Mover copy. There you go. I'm going to create a copy at the end. There you go. And then I can say aspirational. So maybe I want to track 3 of these copies. So I have what I actually have, and then I'm going to talk about, well, what points do I hope to earn? So I can have the kind of a combination of the 2 of them. So maybe I've started balanced trees and I've got 35 points of that because that's the one I've already done before. And again, I've been working on this, so I plan on getting 20 points here. So again, it's not important. You define what data you want and how to manufacture the data you want. And this is a great way to be able to see that and be able to have that come to fruition. You don't need to have all these tabs. All I need to do is see this plan. And the thing that I'm going to be checking for on this course plan and the final course plan is that this number exceeds this number. And I'll probably give a quick glance at where your where your score really is, and then talk about whether it makes sense or not. The plan is for you. If you're not using the plan, then I'm not going to be detailing, nitpicking about where you are not, whether how realistic your plan is. But I want you to have a good sense. How many hours have you spent? I mean, go back and look at this and go back and look at your status reports and say how many hours have you actually spent. If you spent, for the actual points here, 249 points, let's say you spent 25 hours, well, that means you're going to have to spend 80 hours in order to be able to get the grade you want. And so do you have that time budgeted and set aside? But if you spent not 25 hours, you spent 50 hours, that means you need to have 160 hours available. Perhaps. I mean, it's not going to actually continue to be that hard, but it's just a matter of getting a feel for the data and where you're going. So again, make sure you have these numbers at the bottom of your course plan updated. If you really want to take advantage of this, you can create some of these other tabs, but again, I'm not going to check those. It's not required, but I think it's really useful. Check your schedule. If your schedule's not working out, update your schedule. Be honest with yourself. This is about you being in charge of your outcomes for the class, and this being our agreement back and forth. If you send me something that's a complete bluff, well, you're bluffing yourself. You're not bluffing me. I'm not going to argue with you. But if you send me something that looks insufficient, if you say I'm going to work 2 hours a week and I'm going to get 800 points, I might push back a little bit on you there. Say, are you really? But the point is of this activity is to completely fill out the document and to do your best so you understand what it takes for you to succeed.